Recently, Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard was
Dolton Mayor Tiffany Henyard's rise to power has taken a scandalous turn as the FBI recently placed her in handcuffs amid allegations of wire fraud. Once seen as the town's golden girl, Henyard is now accused of turning Dolton's multi-million-dollar surplus into crippling debt to fund a lavish lifestyle, reminiscent of a reality TV star, wearing dark lenses and perfect-toned hair beyond anyone's expectations. This scandal traces back to the sudden death of local political figure Frank Zuccarelli, which left a power vacuum Henyard quickly filled. But instead of steady leadership, Dolton reportedly got a mayor with champagne tastes on a taxpayer budget. Now, with the FBI listening in and the community demanding answers, Henyard's legacy as a local leader hangs by a thread as the story of how millions vanished from Dolton's accounts unfolds. When Tiffany Henyard was sworn in as mayor of Dolton, eyebrows were raised, but she quickly won over residents with big promises of change. However, that honeymoon phase ended abruptly. Before long, public money became a hot topic as things took a shady turn. At first, Henyard played the role of a hometown celebrity, dazzling the community with bold ideas and even bolder promises. But while she was basking in the spotlight, Dolton's bank account was draining fast. That's when it all spiraled out of control. Acting less like a mayor and more like a queen of her own tiny kingdom, Henyard silenced anyone who dared to challenge her. Her administration became known for its hostility and division, with the village board attempting to investigate the ballooning expenses, only to be stonewalled at every turn. With accusations of corruption swirling, Henyard allegedly treated the town's finances like her personal ATM, splurging on designer clothes, lavish vacations, and a security detail with a price tag higher than most people's annual salaries. While Dolton's debt grew, Henyard's lifestyle only got more extravagant, leaving residents and officials wondering how she got away with it for so long.
Dolton has been the assessor here in Thornton Township for the past 10 years, an elected position that helps residents deal with exemptions and property tax appeals. But when she arrived at work this morning, something strange happened.
This was your office?
Yes.
What happened when you tried to open it?
It doesn't work.
Not only had Elston been locked out of her own office, but boxes of sensitive documents that she kept in her office were spread around the common area.
This was under lock and key before.
This was under lock and key.
And now it's just out in the open?
Now it's just out in the open. So it has the taxpayer's name, address.
So who did this to you?
Well, I imagine this new supervisor, Tiffany Henyard.
Brian and Natalie, it is very clear that the trustees in Thornton Township have trust issues, refusing to second a motion by Tiffany Henyard to get routine township bills paid.
I motion that we pay the bills for the general fund. Is there a second? It's been motion and second. Call the roll.
Trustee Jones?
Nope. Radio silence after Henyard attempts to get general fund bills paid. Here's why the trustees didn't go along with it. Last night, the agenda included none of those proposals, so they refused to budge on this.
You guys still don't want to move forward with paying any of the bills in the general fund? That is my question.
Is there a day of the previous week that we could pick that we could set to review the bills?
Trustee, y'all already have the bills. Do you want to pay the bills on the general fund?
What the public
No,
needs to
no,
know.
no. They already know. Stop.
They don't even.
Our meeting is on
So
Tuesday.
that's a no then.
We're here. We're
That's a
here.
no. So
We had time to review
So
it.
we
Yeah, my question is, I can't
to
review.
review invoices.
Point of order. Is there a motion on the floor to pay the general fund?
So that motion to pay those bills failed. Henyard adjourned the meeting and walked out.
For the past 10 years, Stone had served as Thornton Township's elected assessor, assisting citizens with exemptions and property tax appeals. But things took a bizarre turn when she arrived at work one morning. Her office door wouldn't unlock, and to her shock, boxes of confidential documents that were previously secured inside had been scattered across the common area. These files, which contained sensitive taxpayer information like names and addresses, were now fully exposed. Suspicion quickly turned toward the township's leadership. Under the supervision of newly appointed supervisor Tiffany Henyard, along with trustees Brian and Natalie, trust within the township appeared to be in short supply. The trustees, citing a lack of confidence, refused to authorize routine township payments, causing financial gridlock. Efforts to approve payments for general fund bills were ignored. Last night's township meeting offered no resolution, as none of the proposed recommendations were addressed, leaving the growing divide between Henyard, the trustees, and township officials deeper than ever. During a recent meeting, there was a debate over whether bills from the prior week could be reviewed, with one member pointing out that the bills were already available, but questioning whether they should be paid. The real issue was whether a motion to pay the general fund bills would be made, and if it would fail. After the meeting adjourned, the situation only worsened. Dolton, once flush with millions, now finds itself in over $3.5 million of debt, a situation reminiscent of burning through a wallet and wondering why rent can't be paid. Meanwhile, the FBI has launched a wide-ranging investigation, examining payroll records, credit card statements, and more, as they try to piece together how everything went so wrong. Henyard, who was once Dolton's golden girl, has quickly become public enemy number one, with the feds treating the case like a high-stakes puzzle, uncovering the financial mess she left behind. The investigation has taken on the intensity of a modern-day Watergate, with the feds determined to get to the bottom of the scandal. The real question now isn't whether she'll face charges, but what the FBI will uncover in the process. The FBI is coming after Tiffany Henyard hard, and they're leaving no stone unturned. The investigation has gotten so complicated, it's like a toddler's art project, messy and all over the place. The feds have hit her with not one, but two subpoenas, pursuing her from every angle. The first focuses on her personal business dealings, including her restaurant, property management company, political action committee, and charity. But that's not all. The second subpoena is digging into the township's financial records, including payroll, budgets, and expense reimbursements. When an ex-FBI agent calls it serious, you know it's a big deal. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. The FBI isn't just focused on Henyard. They're widening the scope, trying to capture everyone in her inner circle to close the case. They're not only after her actions, but also tracking every single penny that flowed through Dolton's accounts, making it clear they're determined to unravel the entire financial mess. At this point, you might be wondering just how serious this investigation really is. According to Ross Rice, a former FBI agent, the scope of the case is massive. It spans a wide range of people and entities, with the feds requesting records from all angles. But the story doesn't end there. The investigation has also drawn in Keith Freeman, as the FBI seems determined to untangle a complex web of possible misconduct. And if you thought that was the extent of it, hold on tight, there's more. Township leaders are also feeling the heat. The FBI has been interviewing witnesses, local business owners, and former employees, piecing the puzzle together one interview at a time. Based on what they've uncovered, it's clear that Henyard and her team don't have a solid defense. The feds are committed to getting to the bottom of this, leaving no detail uncovered. So, what does this mean for Tiffany Henyard? The FBI is closing in. And they've got receipts that could take her down. Her days of living lavishly off Dolton's cash might be numbered. Just when you thought Henyard couldn't dig herself into a deeper hole, she seems to have bought herself a gold-plated shovel. The amount of taxpayer money she's accused of squandering could make even Jeff Bezos blush. But what exactly was she spending it on? Fasten your seatbelt because her shopping list is about to blow your mind. First up, a pricey police security detail. Yes, you heard that right. Henyard had a security team that probably costs more than the entire defense budget of some small countries, all while Dolton struggles just to keep the lights on. Tiffany Henyard, in her role as the mayor of a small Illinois town, seems to have convinced herself she's running the country, not just a local government. Her over-the-top security detail and extravagant clothing choices were a far cry from what was needed to combat real crime in Dolton. While Henyard enjoyed a lavish lifestyle with her own private army, the rest of the town was left high and dry, with the actual police force struggling to manage basic resources. And let's not forget the outrageous spending, $333,000 on Amazon in a single day. Henyard's shopping spree included everything from gold-plated staplers to designer face masks, wigs, and batteries, all while Dolton racked up millions in debt. But she wasn't done yet. Her upscale vacations were next on the agenda, though no one knows exactly what she was doing on these trips. Whatever it was, it certainly wasn't fixing Dolton's pothole problems, it seemed like. Tiffany Henyard, in her role as the mayor of a small Illinois town, seems to have convinced herself she's running the country, not just a local government. Her over-the-top security detail and extravagant clothing choices were a far cry from what was needed to combat real crime in Dolton. While Henyard enjoyed a lavish lifestyle with her own private army, the rest of the town was left high and dry, with the actual police force struggling to manage basic resources. And let's not forget the outrageous spending, $333,000 on Amazon in a single day. Henyard's shopping spree included everything from gold-plated staplers to designer face masks, wigs, and batteries, all while Dolton racked up millions in debt. But she wasn't done yet. Her upscale vacations were next on the agenda, though no one knows exactly what she was doing on these trips. Whatever it was, it certainly wasn't fixing Dolton's pothole problems, it seemed like. Henyard was on a mission to boost the economy of every other area except Dolton. While the town was falling apart, she made sure to stay in luxurious hotels and dine at pricey restaurants. Meanwhile, the FBI has been going through Henyard's receipts like a parent inspecting Halloween candy, and I guarantee they're finding more tricks than treats. When they finally piece it all together, it's going to be a devastating revelation. But hold on, because if you think the FBI was only focused on her spending habits, if you think the FBI is the only organization involved in this mess, you're mistaken. Tiffany Henyard is now under the scrutiny of another prominent figure, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot. It's clear that things are about to get ugly when one mayor starts meddling in the affairs of another. But why would an ex-mayor from a big city get involved in tiny Dolton? The answer is simple. When your mayor is spending money like there's no tomorrow, you need someone who can keep an eye on the finances. The Dolton Village Board decided to bring in Lightfoot to investigate Henyard's reckless spending, and it's clear they're not fooling around anymore. Lightfoot wasn't chosen by chance. She's no stranger to tough situations, having served as a federal prosecutor before her time as mayor. Dolton residents are furious that their tax dollars are vanishing faster than a child's allowance at a candy store, and now Lightfoot's duty is to shine a spotlight on Henyard's financial mismanagement. Henyard is pushing back, or at least trying to, but the people want answers, and they want them fast. She's claiming this is all a misunderstanding, but the pressure is mounting, and it's only a matter of time before the truth comes to light. Tiffany Henyard is trying to frame the investigation as a political attack, claiming that her gender and race are the real reasons for the scrutiny. In reality, it seems she's been living it up at the town's expense while playing the victim. Meanwhile, Lightfoot is digging into every detail, reviewing receipts, credit card statements, spending logs, and travel records. What she's uncovering is as startling as it is revealing. Remember those extravagant trips, the Amazon shopping binge, and the $1 million security detail? When all of this is put together, the picture is far from flattering. Lightfoot's investigation feels like a reality TV show, but with much higher stakes. Meanwhile, Dolton's residents are growing increasingly frustrated as each new discovery in receipt brings more shock. Lightfoot isn't just looking at the past. She's also working to find a solution to stop the financial drain before Dolton becomes a ghost town. It's like watching someone punch new holes in a dam while trying to plug the old ones. Dolton's bank account is like a train barreling down the tracks, and the train is made of dollar bills. It's a slow-motion disaster, and with the town's streets getting hotter than summer pavement, it's no surprise the locals are so angry. Honestly, who can blame them? The people of Dolton are fed up, and they're demanding answers. Tiffany Henyard's shopping spree has turned into much more than just a scandal. It's sparked a full-blown investigation. A fellow mayor is looking into her actions, while the FBI digs deep into the town's finances to figure out where all the money went. It's like a political drama with real, devastating consequences for the people of Dolton. The residents are furious and no longer staying silent. They're taking to the streets, protesting and demanding that Henyard step down. They're fed up with watching their hard-earned tax dollars vanish to fund their mayor's extravagant lifestyle. As the town's debt continues to rise, Henyard seems to live as though she's holding a golden ticket, spending lavishly while the community suffers. It was no surprise when she was publicly called out for her actions at a recent village council meeting, with residents making it clear they won't tolerate the misuse of their funds any longer.
Tiffany, there's one comment that I've heard out of your mouth that I actually agree with.
Somebody wanted you.
I wouldn't trust this woman if she stood on a stack of Bibles and had her tongue notarized. Not a damn thing she says comes out her mouth.
As the mayor of a small Illinois town, Tiffany Henyard seems to think she's running the country rather than managing a local community. Her over-the-top security detail and lavish wardrobe wouldn't even begin to help if she were truly in charge of a national security crisis. Meanwhile, the rest of Dolton was left to fend for itself as Henyard enjoyed a life of luxury with her own personal army, all while the local police were underfunded and struggling with basic resources. The woman who spent $33,000 on Amazon in a single day is out of touch, buying everything from gold-plated staplers to designer face masks. But how many wigs, batteries, and unnecessary items can one person possibly need? As I've mentioned before, Dolton was drowning in millions of dollars of debt, yet Henyard lived like royalty. And she wasn't done, oh no, she was just getting started. She still had to take her upscale vacations, whatever they entailed. What we do know is they certainly didn't involve fixing Dolton's potholes. Instead, it seemed like she was on a mission to boost the economy of every other area, except Dolton, which she essentially ran into the ground. Tiffany Henyard's extravagant spending didn't just drain Dolton's resources, it sparked an intense investigation. The FBI is meticulously combing through her receipts like a parent inspecting Halloween candy, and trust me, they're finding more tricks than treats. But if you think the FBI is the only major player in this mess, you're mistaken. Henyard is also meddling in Dolton's finances after previously governing Chicago. It's clear things are about to get even messier when one mayor starts prying into the affairs of another. So, what is an ex-mayor from a large city doing in a small town like Dolton? Well, when your mayor is spending money as if it's limitless, you need someone who can keep a close watch on the finances. That's where Lori Lightfoot comes in. The Dolton Village Board decided to bring in Lightfoot to investigate. Henyard's spending signaling they're no longer taking this lightly. Lightfoot wasn't chosen at random. She's no stranger to tough situations, having served as a federal prosecutor before becoming mayor. Dolton residents are livid, watching their tax dollars vanish faster than a child's allowance at a candy store. But Lightfoot's mission is clear: expose Henyard's financial mismanagement and shine a light on her lavish spending. Henyard may be fighting back, but the pressure is mounting and the truth is about to come to light. Henyard is trying to defend herself by claiming that this entire investigation is politically motivated and that her gender and race are the real reasons she's being targeted. In reality, she's been living it up on the town's dime while playing the victim. Meanwhile, Lightfoot is going through all of her receipts, credit card statements, spending logs, and travel records, and what she's finding is nothing short of alarming. Remember the extravagant trips, the Amazon shopping spree, and the $1 million security detail? When all of this is pieced together, the picture that emerges is far from flattering. Lightfoot's investigation feels like something out of a reality TV show, but with real-world consequences. Dolton residents have a new reason to shake their heads with every new discovery and receipt revealed. Lightfoot is not only investigating the past, but also working to find a solution to stop the financial drain before Dolton turns into a ghost town. It's like watching someone punch new holes in a dam while others scramble to plug them up. Dolton's bank account is the track, and the train is built of dollar bills. It's a slow-motion crash that no one can stop unless the truth comes to light. It's like watching a train crash in slow motion, with Dolton's streets growing more chaotic than a scorching summer pavement. So, why are the locals so angry? Honestly, who can blame them? They're fed up and they have every right to be. This isn't just about Tiffany Henyard's shopping spree, it's about one mayor investigating another, while the FBI digs into the town's finances to figure out where all the money went. It's a political scandal with real-world consequences for the people of Dolton. The residents are furious and no longer staying silent. They're protesting and demanding that Henyard step down. They're tired of watching their hard-earned taxes disappear to fund their mayor's lavish lifestyle. Meanwhile, the town's debt continues to rise, while Henyard lives life as if she's holding a golden ticket. It's clear from her actions that she's been living large at the expense of the town. At a recent village council meeting, Henyard was rightfully called out for her actions, with the people making it clear they won't stand by as their town crumbles.